I'm here with another book review, and it is on Nicholas Sparks' new book, The Longest Ride. Ugh, I love this one. If I sound funny, it's because I've been crying because I literally just finished it. It's 3 a.m. and I just finished it. Um, it has been a difficult book for me to read, but that's just because my time is taken up by a busy 2-year-old. Um, but this was one of the best books that I've read this year. It's made me cry. It has made me want to just slap my husband because he's not as perfect as Luke or Ira. And that begs another question. Where are men like Luke and Ira? Do they exist? Are they real? That's the only thing that I really don't understand, because all his male characters are so perfect. I mean, they are. Even if they're not perfect in the beginning, by the end of the book, they're perfect. And I don't know many guys that, act that way. My husband certainly would not let me take a bath while he cooked dinner like Luke does in the book. Um, and you'll see what I'm talking about if you read it. This book is worth reading for just a couple of phrases that Nicholas Sparks put in. Ira writes a letter to his dead wife, and it says, "If there is a heaven, I know we will find each other, for without you, there is no heaven." Or something to that effect. And then at the end, Luke says, "I understand, Ira." And it's not just in that little quote. It's not just about that. It's about something else that he says. But I don't want to give away too many spoilers. But if you like rough and tough cowboys, um, with big hearts, or sophisticated men who are high thinkers, this book's for you. This book has something for every woman, I think, and probably some men. I don't know very many men who read Nicholas Sparks, but I reckon that there's probably a few. I love the book. I did. I cried. I think it's probably one of my most favorite ones that he's written to date. Um, I rushed out to get it when they had it because it was just amazing. I was so happy with it. I hope that his books just keep getting better and better, but I hope that I don't have to wait as long as I did for this one. It feels like it's been years since well, I know it's been years since he published his last one prior to this, but still, you know, most of the authors that I read, they pump out like 2 or 3 books a year, or they write like at least one every year. So I think one of my favorite writers who hasn't done that was J.K. Rowling. Took a bit of time off um, for that. But it's worth the read. I mean, this is a fabulous book. I would get it in hardcover because you're gonna want to read it again and again. My copy, as a matter of fact, has to go to my grandmother so that she can read it. By the way, these are a great book to read if you like the romance books, but you're Christian and you don't like all the smuttiness. Um, I think it's a great book for teenagers because it is a romance book, but there's no um, lusty wording. It's romance without all the smut. So, and even though some of us like the smuttiness in other romance novels, I think that in a way it makes it innocent and so sweet that it enhances the flavor of the book, honestly. And I give him props for that because, this is a book that you could. Okay, I'm 22. My grandmother is like 60 something. We both love his books. When I get finished with them, I have to let her borrow them, or when I get finished with them, I have to buy her a set or whatever. My mom bought me these books when I was in the hospital having my son because I was in there for like ever. And she didn't realize that she bought me some of the ones that I already had. So I gave like all those. to my grandmother, and she read them and she loved them. So now I'm gonna let her read this one. I just got onto these in high school because I had read everything else and I needed something to do, so I picked him up and I loved it. I think his first book of mine was The Choice in hardback, and I loved it. So read this and please subscribe to my channel because there will be giveaways once we get a few subscribers. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you think about the book.